Well, I know why they didn't interview Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
A lot of dead air.
And you're worried about the F-bomb, Walter?
That's a good point. Good point, Bob. Hey, welcome to the podcast. Well, I guess we're recording, huh? Wow.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Unrestricted, the new and improved Unrestricted. Vex, the Bulldog, Bob as always. But we have brought in a ringer, ladies and gentlemen. Back in black, it's Vex and Walter Pascarita.
The ringer, that means I got like some virus or something. Don't I have like a herpes on my arm?
Ringworm.
Oh, ringworm. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Walter Pascarita in the house, going to join us on the Unrestricted forevermore. And we're going to sell this thing, and it's going to be a hell of a show. God, we got a lot to get to today. This is going to be an hour-long show if we don't go fast.
Let's go fast.
That all depends on how long Bob wants to be here.
Yeah, that's right.
Get the hell out. I'm done with you. All right, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I have to take a nap in a little bit.
On your dirty couch. God.
Bob has the dirtiest, ugliest looking couch we've ever seen. All right, so we're going to do a podcast once a week, I guess, and it's available wherever you get podcasts and all that kind of stuff. So we need money. So as you're listening to this podcast, you then need to go call your friends and that own businesses and say, hey, guess what? Wally and Vex are back along with Richie and Bob and stuff. And we're doing a podcast and it's a great listen and we need to give them money.
Yeah,
so
we got a lot of downloads.
We're like the Jerry Lewis of podcasts.
Holy cow, is that a musty reference? Jerry Lewis?
Jerry Lewis, yeah. It's a telethon. That's what it is.
Wait.
It's a radiothon.
Didn't Jerry Lewis make most of his money playing an Asian fella?
Yeah, I think he did.
He couldn't do that now.
It's really off color.
It doesn't age well.
Wait, and my reference was a what'd you say, musty?
Musty, I would say.
What is that one?
That was pretty bad. I mean,
all right.
Guys are, God, like any Catskill comedians you guys want to bring up?
Isn't that where you used to go to summer camp? Up in the Catskills?
Like in the 30s. All right, the big story.
You mean to tell me you don't have a golf membership at the Catskills somewhere?
I do not.
I'm shocked by this.
I would love to. Maybe we can get money out of them.
Right.
The big news is the Trey Lance story.
Why? Why is this a big story?
Because I think for Cowboys fans, it's a huge story.
Why?
It's the beginning of the end for Mike McCarthy.
Is that what it is?
It feels like that for me.
Because Jerry Jones didn't go to talk to him about the deal beforehand?
Yeah. No way. I
see
saw
it that
that.
way.
And listen, Bill Parcells didn't want he didn't want Terrell Owens, and Jerry Jones did it anyway. So I don't see where that's a big deal.
I feel like this is completely in keeping with who Jerry Jones is. And if you're Mike McCarthy, you got into bed with Jerry Jones 3 years ago, and this is who he is. You know he's not going to let you bake the cake and buy the groceries like Bill Parcells used to say, right? He's going to make some decisions on his own.
I get that, but Trey Lance is not a backup to Dak Prescott. The game that Trey Lance plays is a different game than what Mike McCarthy is going to be calling this season, which is the reason why Lance didn't do that well in the preseason for the 49ers and why he was QB3 and not QB2, because he wasn't going to back up the offense for Brock Purdy. He's not going to back up the offense for Dak Prescott. This is laying the table for getting rid of Mike McCarthy and that whole offensive coaching staff and Dak Prescott and pressing reset in a year.
Jerry Jones went out and bought himself a lottery ticket. That's all. That's all this is. He's a lottery ticket. He's not, I mean, this is a quarterback that couldn't make the 49ers team. I mean, think about that. He couldn't make the roster. And so now he's with the Cowboys. The Cowboys took a flyer on him. They gave up a 4th-round pick, but the Cowboys throw draft picks around like it's, like it's singles at a topless bar. So what's the difference? I don't see. I was confused by this whole. Every national show after the trade started with the Trey Lance thing. I go, this isn't that important.
I think it is.
When is Trey Lance going to be the next quarterback of the Cowboys?
I think you don't go get him unless you think that eventually he's going to be.
But Stephen Jones also said, yes, we're gonna re-sign Dak Prescott this week. So I don't know if Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance is going to be a player that they develop They hope to develop, turn it into something, and then deal it away.
Dak
Yeah.
has 2 years left at $160 million. This is insurance in case Dak sucks this year, next year.
If Dak sucks this year, then he's going to be out. He's going to be out the door.
Yeah, but it's not going to be Cooper Rush taking his spot.
No, I don't think so either. But Trey Lance is. I mean, what is he?
I don't know.
nobody
I don't think
knows
what
anybody
he
knows.
is. So
He's thrown
Well, no.
427 passes.
In his professional career.
Not even that's college included.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And figured,
But
wow.
but no, we knew what Trey Lance was going to be. This is the gentleman who started for a team that went to the conference championship game. It's not like he's a schlub. Yeah, Jerry Jones took
But
a
which
flyer.
conference champion? Okay, you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean-
you're talking about his college career.
I mean, to Walter's point, yeah, this is a lottery ticket, but
It's a
you're
scratch off
but you're not.
that they haven't scratched yet.
But you're
They
not.
just got it up by the stockings. It's a Christmas present. Maybe you scratch it, maybe not. You scratch it after about 8 Miller High Lifes.
You know, scratch off tickets as presents aren't
Champagne
really
and beer.
presents. Because if the person you give it to wins, aren't you under some obligation to give some money back to the guy that gave it to you as a present?
I don't think you are.
No, I think you are.
I think you are.
Yeah, you should. This is like this podcast should be renamed The Tangent.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Trey Lance isn't.
Good idea.
The Cowboys are not going to develop Trey Lance
Why?
because that's not their offense. Trey Lance needs to be a running, gunning quarterback. That's who he is.
So he needs to back up Justin Fields.
Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson,
Yeah.
those types of quarterbacks.
But he doesn't fit the Cowboys' offense. I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
And he didn't fit what Shanahan was calling for Brock Purdy or Sam Darnold, which is the reason why he was QB3. Not because he couldn't start, because he didn't fit what Shanahan wants to call. And Shanahan's more comfortable calling a pocket quarterback who has some mobility.
All right, but the other side of that is then why the hell did they go out and get him in the first place? Why did the Niners give up all those draft? They gave up, what, three
Three
first rounders
first-rounders.
to get him, and he doesn't fit the
For a
offense?
guy that's thrown 427 passes.
Hey,
since
hey,
college.
That
And-
sounds like the Cowboy. Wait a minute.
You're a 49er fan, Bob.
I am
are
a
you
49er homer.
Yeah. Are you okay? Are you sad to see him go?
No.
Are you upset that they only got a fourth rounder?
I'm a little upset that they only got a fourth rounder. I would have rather seen him in the quarterback room, considering how snake bit the organization has been with quarterback health over the last 3 or 4 years.
As a Cowboys fan, I would have rather them spend a fourth round pick going to get Jonathan Taylor.
Yes.
And I think that's probably what it would have taken, maybe a play or two.
But Taylor's going to, he wanted a new deal also.
Yeah.
So it would have been a lot more money.
Yeah.
They're
True.
not paying the lottery ticket much.
No, they're really not.
And I think that Jerry likes to just have options.
He certainly has one, and he
Right.
likes to make splashes.
And he likes to lie a lot. He does a lot of lying.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to see how many first rounders he can collect. And if they can play, great. If not, fuck it.
Yeah.
He's not worried about it.
And
Hey, we're trying to sponsor the show. You can't use the F word.
Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
and
Here's the other thing. Here's one more on this Trey Lance thing. If you were a gun to your head, who do you trust more in developing a player, or who do you trust that knows exactly what they're doing? The Cowboys or the Niners? I mean,
hate
do you
to say,
trust the
it's
Cowboys?
the 49ers.
That's a dick
Yeah.
question.
It's a dick question.
So that's what I'm saying. You know,
Everybody knows the answer. You just don't want to.
if the Niners don't think he's any good, then or at least worth keeping, then I don't know. I'm not taking their sloppy seconds.
You know who Trey Lance might wind up with? And I'm not even bullshitting about this. The Cowboys could flip him fast. New England. They cut both of their backup quarterbacks. They have one quarterback, the Patriots do. One quarterback
But
on
they-
their entire roster.
But they re-signed
Zappy.
Zappy to the practice squad today.
Well, that doesn't really count. I mean, he's not on the 53-man roster.
They want a veteran, so I don't know. The Cowboys can't turn him over that quick.
Anything shock you other than the Patriots cutting their two backup quarterbacks and leaving only one on the
No,
roster?
not really.
From the roster cuts?
No,
There's
a lot of
some
people
good
made a
players
lot
that are out
of
there,
big
though.
deal out of this cut day, and there wasn't really much there. So,
Fair enough. Moving along. Going to golf.
golf,
Yes.
Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Captain's picks came out. Now we got our squad going to Rome in about a month. Justin Thomas, you got a problem with him making the team?
Not
yes.
at all.
Yes, of course.
Oh, you do, and
Of
you do
course.
not. Okay, tell me.
All right, first of all, I hate the Live Tour because the people that support the Live Tour are a bunch of supporters of terrorism of 9/11. That's the one thing that bothers me about the Live Tour. So I have less of a problem with Koepka than I do with Justin Thomas.
Why?
Wait,
Because Justin Thomas, I would have, first of all, the guy I would have taken would have been Lucas Glover. Lucas Glover has played terrific in the last month or so, where Justin Thomas has been crap the entire season. And I think Glover was 16th in the points, and Justin Thomas was 15th. But listen,
it's not that bad.
anybody that's watched any golf knows Justin Thomas has been terrible.
He has lost his form. He's lost a lot of confidence. He is also 16-5-1
Very
In the
good.
in
Ryder
international
That's why he's on the
international
team.
competitions,
Okay.
including President's Cup.
That's why he's on.
That's why
He's
he's on.
6-2-1. Excuse me. He's 6-2-1 in the Ryder Cup. He is by far our best team golfer.
And that's why they picked him.
Yeah, and Walter, if you got a problem with it, then let's just go. Let's not let them have any picks. Let's just go 1 through 12 off the points
I would have
list.
taken, as I said, I would have taken Lucas Glover. I think he's the better choice. But again, as you said, JT's got a great record. He's also an emotional leader. There's no question. Those two things led to the pick.
Yeah, and he makes a great partner for Jordan Spieth. Those guys are bros. They get along. They've played very well.
Well, hopefully he can help Jordan Spieth putt, because we've talked about this before. Jordan Spieth can't putt. 10 feet inside, he's awful.
He's kind of lost
He's
it.
awful.
He kind of has lost it. I have a bigger problem with Brooks Koepka than I do with Justin Thomas.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he just doesn't play on the PGA Tour, and he's a live guy. And he's also kind of an a-hole. Let's be honest. Every time he has been to the Ryder Cup, he has gotten into it with somebody. 8 years ago, or 6 years ago, he got into it with Dustin Johnson. And then the last time he got into it with DeChambeau.
I mean,
Like, he's not the best team player.
do you want the U.S. team to do a drum circle kumbaya, or do you want them to win?
Well, he hasn't won either.
Okay.
He's about 500
Yeah.
in international.
It's not
play.
great. It's not great.
And he's not a team player.
He's not much of a team player. He's not much of a locker room guy. He's not a chemistry guy.
Team player. Who cares?
Wait
Go
a minute.
play
I thought
golf.
that was
Go
that
play
was the whole
golf.
thing. That's
Yeah.
why you picked Justin Thomas, is because it is about the team play. And then you take Brooks Koepka, who's not about that. That's the part that I don't get on Zach Johnson's selections.
Maybe they took Koepka so he could bring all his cocaine.
Here's the best part. The best part of the Live Tour for this Ryder Cup is that it threw out Ian Poulter. He's not in it, and two of the other Europeans that are always great. I mean, Ian Poulter could make the biggest putt in the world anytime, any place, and he's not in it.
He's lost his game too.
He's
So-
not in the Ryder Cup because he's on the Live Tour. So the Live Tour in the end has helped out the United States. 'Cause
How
Ian
come
Poulter
we're-
is awesome in the
How
Ryder
come
Cup.
we're allowed to take somebody from the Live Tour and the Euros aren't?
They are allowed to. It's just that Ian Poulter didn't have himself a good enough year in the few events
So
that
he could have been a
played.
captain's pick from the Euros, and they didn't pick
I don't
him.
think
That's
so.
right.
I don't think he's allowed to play on the European Ryder Cup because he's on the Live Tour.
Okay,
I
I'd have
think
to
that's-
double check that.
Yeah, I
like-
think that is.
But
I
Koepka
could be
played
wrong.
a few events that were here in America, the majors mostly, and did so well that he qualified for the team. He did not quite qualify for the team, but he almost worked himself into one of the top 6 positions.
What about Cam Smith? Is
Cam
he on the
Smith-
Euro team?
No,
don't
he's an
know.
Australian.
Yeah,
No, sorry.
So Australians
Different.
are in no man's land. They don't even get to play.
that's right. They can play on the President's Cup. Yeah. It
Get
is
yourself
about
a
team
mullet
play.
and you'll be fine.
It is about team play, though. Here's my parallel.
I think it's overrated.
Have you watched USA basketball?
This currently the FIBA.
Yeah, in this FIBA World Cup.
No.
Austin Reeves has been the sneaky one of the best players on the entire team. And it's not that Austin Reeves is the greatest basketball player that the Team USA could have chosen. They could have taken Trey Young. They could have taken Jordan Clarkson. They could have taken
Okay.
Jordan Poole. All of those guys are better individual basketball players than is Austin Reeves. But Austin Reeves is a better teammate, and he is the lubrication that is helping that team win right now. Did I just call a human being lubrication?
Sure.
Yes, you did.
I'm offended.
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
absolutely offended.
And
Wouldn't glue be better than lube?
Yeah, he's the glue that's holding them together.
Yeah,
There you
because
go.
lube is slippery. Glue is binding.
But honestly, what he's doing is lubricating. He is.
But how are they binding?
I don't know.
You got your shit all wrong.
they beat
Welcome to the tangent.
they beat Jordan by what, like 60 gajillion points?
Yeah. I mean, look.
Not
they haven't
Michael
played-
Jordan, the country Jordan.
Yes,
the country
right.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't know where this was going. All
Yeah.
right,
Hey,
I'm
it's
out
college.
of here.
Well, everybody.
It's college football week 1,
Hmm.
and everybody's super excited for it. And I looked at the games. There are maybe 3 games.
They're always
Maybe.
awful. The first 3 weeks of college. Are we switching gears to college football now?
I am.
Okay. All right. So, college football, the first 3 weeks are always awful. They've been awful forever.
Yes, and it's no different
No,
this year.
No,
Nothing changes?
college football is fucking awful. Every week of the college football season, we get one game that has some freaking competitive relevance.
That's my take.
This weekend we have one game again with ranked teams. Every other point spread is 20 plus.
And it's not even on Saturday, by the
Fuck
way.
off.
The main game is on Sunday.
Dear sponsors, if you would like us to remove Bob, just let us know.
Actually, Wally, he's the one guy we can't remove. He's like David Lee Roth of Van Halen. He's got all the equipment
Yeah, and he's the lube
and the glue.
and the glue.
I love college football. I was never a college football fan until I moved here in 2000. Love college football.
I love college football, but the sport itself is so disappointing sometimes. I
What
mean,
does that mean, the sport itself? What?
like the landscape of the sport, like it needs a czar to make sure that we get more than one decent football game per week. I'm tired of 30-point spread games and cream puff schedules for the first 4 weeks. It sucks.
I'm
Play
with you.
somebody.
I'm with you, but nevertheless, it's college football, and I mean, it does. You could put any game on, and people are going to enjoy it. It doesn't matter. Even the Aggies are 38.5-point favorites at home against New Mexico. Texas is they're 30-point favorites as well. So
Did y'all watch The Swamp? If you want to get pumped up about college football, just watch The Swamp.
I have not.
It's one of those Untolds on Netflix, like the Johnny Manziel story from a couple of weeks ago. This is The Swamp. Have you seen it, Bob?
Yes, and that was when college football was magical. Now it's just capitalism.
What did you think of The Swamp? Because I hated it.
Why did you hate it?
Okay, you liked it?
Yeah.
Are you a Florida Gator fan?
No.
I hate the Florida Gators and I hate Urban Meyer. So why the hell do I want to watch a 4-episode, 4 hours of Florida back when they were good, just basically going through the schedule and talking about how hard they worked to win games? Not interested. Sorry. If you're a Florida Gator fan, it was great. If you're an Urban Meyer fan, it was great. But like if you hate Florida and you hate Urban Meyer like I do, that sucked.
So what the hell did you watch it
Yeah,
for?
that's my neck.
I
Why'd
watched-
you watch all 4 hours?
I watched it for this
Dipshit.
damn podcast.
Oh, you're full of shit.
He's doing research.
I was doing research.
doing research.
Yeah. I don't buy that for a second.
Let me tell you this.
That's lame, huh?
It was extremely disappointing. Much like the Untold of Johnny Manziel, this left a lot of stuff sort of touched on, but not unturned, right? It's called Untold. Yeah. They keep not telling the damn story.
Well, I think that's the case for us here in San Antonio, at least about the Johnny Manziel story, because that whole thing didn't tell us anything that we didn't know already.
Exactly.
But I think if you're in New York or something and you're watching the Johnny Manziel story, you may not have known much of that stuff.
Okay, maybe that's true. And maybe that's true for the Swamp as well. But they had Tim Tebow and Aaron Hernandez and the Pouncey brothers. It was, they put themselves up as this holier than thou team, and really, truly, and you don't use this word lightly, they were a bunch of thugs on the roster.
Except
Wait,
for
no,
Timbo.
no. Tim, Tim was born again. Let's
Yeah.
not. I mean,
No.
he was holier than thou.
Tim, I have no problem with Tim Tebow because Tim is like legitimately who he is. But like the rest of them were pretending to be a bunch of choir boys, and really they were like, they're kind of gangster, man.
Yeah, I don't think they were pretending. It was just the dichotomy of Tim and then everybody else.
Okay, fair enough.
Like Tim would intentionally plan midnight workouts so they couldn't be at the clubs getting in trouble.
So why didn't they go into that more deeply in a 4-part documentary?
Well, I know why they didn't interview Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
A lot of dead air.
And you're worried about the F-bomb, Walter?
That's a good point. That's a good point, Bob. Tim Tebow, to me, once he got away from sports, I think is one of the greatest Americans we have on the planet. Okay,
Wow.
What he does for the mentally challenged,
Sure.
what he does for those folks with the proms and stuff like that. Go check out what Tim Tebow does now in his life is just fantastic. I know he gets some credit for it, but he's a great American.
He's also very good on the air. Like when he has his
Yeah.
chance as a broadcaster, he's very good.
I just think he does the stuff off the field. I think is fantastic, and he gets applauded for it. And the segue was that Billie Jean King, who was celebrated this week as the U.S. Open tennis tournament began in New York.
I saw that.
She was celebrated because of her work 50 years ago
50.
in getting women and their rifle prize money equal to men in the game of tennis. And you think about that, the soccer girls are still trying to fight for that. Billie Jean King accomplished this 50 years ago.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. And Billie Jean King is just an amazing person. And again, should be celebrated as one of the great Americans in this country.
I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
Speaking of the U.S. Open and U.S. Open women, one of San Antonio's own got beaten yesterday, Fiona Crawley, in the first round. I guess,
Wow.
Yeah, she made it through qualification.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, it's amazing. And you get paid even, just for making it to the big stage, making it as a seed. So, and she's got a doubles partner coming up, doubles match coming up. So good for her.
Wait,
Alamo
hold on.
Heights graduate.
Hold on. Is she getting paid, or is she still on the roster for North Carolina?
Oh, that's a good point. She may not be able to accept her prize money because she still plays
She's
at North
amateur?
Carolina. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
But she can walk out
maybe
and
not
sell
now.
Viore
No,
joggers.
I think once the NIL took over, I think you were allowed to take that money.
I'd have to look that up.
I'm not
don't
sure
know.
the rules there, but anyway. Also, women's. This is unique in tennis. Women and men are basically on equal parts because I can't watch. You can take a shot if you want. I can't watch women's basketball. I don't have any interest. But you want to put a women's tennis match on, I'll watch that all day long.
Absolutely.
And to me, women's and men's tennis are on the same level,
Yeah, they really are.
and that's unique in this country. That's the only sport.
I don't agree with that last part at all.
Maybe soccer.
Soccer
Maybe
is
soccer.
the answer. Soccer is the answer. Women's World Cup is as entertaining to me as men's World Cup.
But do they bring the? What I was saying about is do they bring the same clout as far as finances are concerned?
No, not quite.
But tennis does.
tennis does.
Tennis does. I don't know if soccer does.
Not yet.
No.
No.
Well, women's volleyball in Nebraska is going to draw more people tonight than the Nebraska football team.
Women's volleyball in Nebraska?
Volleyball. They're playing a match in Memorial Stadium at Nebraska. They're going to draw about 92,000 people.
Holy cow.
That's
Are
more
they giving
that's-
away Chick-fil-A?
No. They put the tickets on sale. They sold 82,000 in 3 days.
I did not know about this story.
And Nebraska football sucks, so they're going to outdraw them.
Off topic. Why do we have to put women volleyball players in the shortest of shorts that are manufactured? Why is that? Why do we have to do that?
It's the patriarchy.
You talk about sexist in this country. I mean, Jesus, you got your cheeks of your butt hanging out of your shorts.
Walter,
Why?
it's one of the simple pleasures in life. Please don't
No,
take it away.
But my kid plays volleyball on a school level, and she's got to wear these shorts where her butt's hanging out of her pants. I hate that.
Well,
it's stupid.
Can't she wear whatever she wants?
No, you got it. That's your
That's the
uniform.
Oh.
It's awful.
At least she's
Walter-
not a Team USA gymnast, Walter.
Yeah. Those things are pretty skimpy.
Could be worse.
I mean, did you see Simone Biles' outfit the other day?
Mm-hmm.
She won again, but it's like barely there.
Yeah, it's
Alrighty, I'll
it's
leave
the
it right there.
yeah, it's the founding fathers, not the founding parents.
Yes.
If you
Clearly a man designed those uniforms. I'm with you. I agree.
I saw something interesting in the news the other day about our own Brian Wright of the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay, did not see
Spurs,
this. Go ahead.
Spurs general manager. They did a sabermetric breakdown of all the general managers in the NBA according to the trades they've made, the draft picks and their success, and the number of draft picks that they have stockpiled. Brian Wright came out number 3, third from the top. That's pretty impressive.
What does he get for that? A trophy? You can give him this this bobblehead.
It's not about what he
Congratulations.
gets. It's about the Spurs are continuing to have great leadership from the top. I mean, I think that there was a question about Brian Wright and whether he knew what the hell he was doing.
that was your question.
It was.
So now that you read the sabermetrics
No,
report,
no,
you're
no,
like,
no, no.
well, fuck,
But wait
it
a
must be
minute.
right.
No. It's not that. It's that he has changed.
He's
he
changed
has-
in 2 months since
No.
we drafted Wemby.
in 2 years, he's changed.
Yeah, but before we drafted Wemby, you're the one that's like, I don't know.
Well, look, he
I
fucked
wouldn't
up
have
the
sent
Josh
this guy.
Primo thing, didn't he?
Josh Primo fucked up the Josh Primo thing.
So we can get
Accidentally
Brian,
letting his dick slip out every time he's hanging around a female.
so we'll give Brian Wright the Sam Presti Award.
What is that?
You get an award for I don't know a bunch of draft picks and never doing anything with them, and you still suck.
And they send you to Oklahoma.
Wait, is that the Cowboys?
Look, I like where the Spurs are set up. Do you not like how the Spurs are set up to succeed over the next 5 years?
It all depends on how good Wemby is.
Yeah.
Of
isn't
course
it?
it does.
TBA.
Otherwise, you
course
got
it
a
does.
bunch of guys that are borderline all-stars.
I mean, we could say that about every team.
I
You're only
understand
as
that.
good as how successful your young players are.
Sam Presti is the Spurs appear to be running their organization the way Sam Presti did. And what has that got in Oklahoma City? Well, they got stockpiled the first round draft picks until 2030. Whoop-de-doo, they haven't done anything and they still suck.
I read something earlier today that said the most likely places for Giannis Antetokounmpo are Oklahoma City and San Antonio. And the reason that those two franchises get mentioned as likely is because they have that number of draft picks to be able to give the Bucks in return. Otherwise, you're never going to attract a star. That's the only way you're going to get them is through a trade. You're not going to be able to get them in free agency.
That's exactly right. And this is bad news for Spurs fans. They'll never get a free agent to come down here. They're just not. Because who wants to play here? For what reason?
There's only a couple of
Got a
places.
great river walk?
Only a couple places in the NBA that the players actually want to go to.
Yeah, the sexy cities in this country.
Yeah.
Miami, New York, California, Los Angeles, wherever.
Yes, that's
We
about
all-
it.
We all know what they are.
But everybody else is going to have a hard time attracting the free agent. I don't think San Antonio is in trouble because they're in a small market.
I mean,
and
you-
can't attract free agents.
You think about Greg Popovich is the greatest coach of all time, and they still can't get anybody to come down here.
I just don't.
Because you know why? I think Pop is to me, this is my opinion, I think Pop's a hard ass. And I don't think everybody in the NBA wants to work their ass off and come down here and play.
I think you're right, especially in the modern NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think players
Totally.
probably don't want to be pushed that hard.
While we're on the subject of the Spurs, $149 per ticket in the last row of the AT&T Center for opening night is mind-boggling to me. And the Spurs, we all love them here around here. Let's be honest though, they are one greedy ass franchise. They put a jersey out every 6 months. It's almost like the Spurs forget where the hell they are. This is one of the poorest communities in the entire country, and they continue to put out jersey after jersey. I mean, think of how many jerseys the Spurs have put out over the last 10 years, all different colors. And then it's $149 for opening night. This isn't secondary market, folks. This is at the freaking box office. $149. I wanted to take my son to go watch Wembayama on opening night. Guess what? I'm not going.
You can't.
That's
Not at that rate.
$149.
Hey, Walter, I can get you a deal. Right now on one of the secondary markets, it's 131.
Sign him up.
It'll be out on the grassy knoll outside the arena. Isn't that crazy? Though?
That
That's
is.
ridiculous.
That's a lot of money. I get it.
You
It's
can
a-
go to the Rocket game in 2 nights or whatever night that is. The second home game, $35.
Yeah, it's opening night for Wembanyama.
I understand.
It's a big deal. It's an attractive ticket.
But do you
I'm
think
not
that-
blown away.
Is that right by the Spurs though to raise the ticket? And I understand everybody has this new policy where it depends on the demand for the ticket, and then we make the price accordingly. So nobody wants to go see the Spurs and Rockets 2 nights later, but everybody wants to go on opening night against the Dallas Mavericks. The Laker tickets are expensive too; they're about $100 no matter where you sit. Just to me, here in San Antonio to get. Ask $149 for the last row in the AT&T Center is mind-boggling to me, and they should be called out by the major media folks in this town, and they just aren't. Surprise,
Who are the
surprise.
major media folks in this town?
TV people?
They never.
Don
they
Harris?
they never call out the Spurs. Absolutely never.
No, and I understand why, because I was part of it for a while.
They're the
I get
only
it.
game in town. So it's basically eat your dog food.
Yeah.
But geez, I mean, call them, call
And
them out.
speaking of
They're
jerseys,
greedy.
like, quick question. How old are you when you stop wearing jerseys?
Oh, 20. Yeah.
I'm thinking,
I
yeah.
haven't worn one since I was about 20.
I wear them.
Well, you're
I
from
wear
New
my-
York. It's different.
This just dawned on him. He's from New York. Holy crap! I got to say something funny. What does that? What does that have to do with anything?
Well, then why are you wearing them? Not like you're going to go buy a jersey?
No, I'll wear my Jets jersey on a Sunday. Like if I was going
there it is.
Around the house.
His Wayne Chabet Jets jersey
Wayne Chabet
from Hofstra University.
So Wayne Sherbert.
I thought he meant.
Chabert.
I thought he meant the chick on the Hallmark movies, Chabert.
Lacey.
I'd wear her
Lacey Chabert.
jersey.
She can wear my jersey and nothing else.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to like HEB on a Sunday before the game, I'll wear my Jets jersey. Why not?
Let everybody know.
I don't give a crap what anybody thinks. I'm wearing it because I want to wear it.
Yeah,
There you
those
go.
shorts say, I don't care what anybody thinks. I'll tell you that.
He wants,
Stop staring.
he wants to wear it, and none of the other laundry is done. So, Walter, you been watching Hard Knocks?
Yes. Hard
God.
Knocks has been, it's what do they say? Jump the shark a long time ago. There's nothing to the show. If you're a fan other than the Jets, then you don't care. They give you nothing.
You're right, because I have not watched 1 second.
I kind of enjoyed Rodgers, that one defensive lineman, 55 for the Giants, who kind of gave him a late hit. And Rodgers
he
like,
pushed
who are
him.
you? I have no idea who you are. And the defensive guy's like, I have no idea who you are. Yeah, really? Really?
Apparently, the Giants guy. I heard this morning on New York radio. Apparently, the Giant player either sacked him or pushed him or got a penalty against him in the regular season. So for Aaron Rodgers to say, I don't know who you are. Maybe Aaron Rodgers was lying. But the one thing you can
Aaron
take-
Rodgers lies?
The one thing you can take away from Hard Knocks is Aaron Rodgers is fully engulfed in the New York Jets. He is bought in a big way.
He sold it. We'll see if they start playing shitty. He's got everything he needs around him.
I think we said this on the first time I did the podcast. The Jets are being undersold because nobody knows anything about them. They were a good football team last year, and if Jeff Vexler was the quarterback, they would have made the playoffs.
Wow, that's saying something.
That's as bad as the quarterback play was a season ago. They were just god-awful. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to be MVP Aaron Rodgers. He just needs to be a good quality quarterback, and they'll make the playoffs. And if he's a great quarterback, they'll find themselves in the Super Bowl.
I think they've got a tough schedule. I think it's going to be tough sledding for them to win
You
more
don't
than
think
10
they
games.
do? They do have a tough schedule.
Yeah,
know.
the first 6 weeks are a buzzsaw.
I know. I don't see him winning 10 games.
Aren't the Cowboys playing him?
Yes.
Yeah,
week
Cowboys
2.
got him. Yeah,
Week 2.
That's kind of
That's after the Bills on Monday night, and then the Jets go to Dallas.
it's pretty rough. Yeah.
That was another ticket I wanted to take my son to go to that
And that was
Cowboys-Jets game.
$1,400.
The only tickets that are, and I wasn't sure. I didn't know. I haven't been to a football game in forever, but I didn't know the face value of a football ticket. I think the last time I went to a game, maybe it was $35, maybe about 20 years ago or so. The face value is about $150.
Wow.
So if you go to the second party sites to get tickets. The cheapest thing you can get into the building with the Cowboys game is the standing room only tickets, which are about right now you can get them for $60.
Oh, that's not bad.
But my kid doesn't want to stand for 3.5 hours, and neither do I. So
All right. I don't want to stand any longer on this podcast. Okay.
that's it. We're done.
Wow.
No, we got to go. We're over 30 minutes.
Wow. Okay, I'm done.
I enjoyed it.
I think I got everything I mentioned. Bob Barker died this week. Did you know that?
I did. Sad.
Yep.
Was he your favorite game show host of all time?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I like Gene Rayburn better because
Oh,
that whole Match Game show was so sexually charged.
it was.
If you go back and watch it now, it's just it's offensive.
God,
It's
that's a
great.
musty reference. Gene Rayburn.
Gene
Musty
Rayburn
twice.
with that long skinny mic, and he made sure you knew that it was a long skinny mic.
Wink Martindale. Like how,
Chuck Woolery.
Chuck Woolery.
We'll be
Absolutely.
back in 2 and 2. Yeah, okay, whatever, Chuck.
All right.
was-
See you next week.
Who was the creepy Family Feud guy?
Richard Dawson.
Richard Dawson.
Richard Dawson.
Come here, give me a kiss, Bob.
We'll
That's
see
it,
you
we're
in 2
done.
and 2 on the Unrestricted.
How y'all feel out there? Do you feel good? I said, do you feel good? Come on. The groove feel good when it make you move. Make your next move your best move. I said the groove feel good when it make you move. Make your next move your best move. It feel good, don't it? It feel good. It feel good cause you know it's good.